Hey guys, what's going on? Ultimus here, taking you through our gold challenge mode run through Auchindoun. Auchindoun? I can never pronounce this one properly. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't run this one for a while. This is one of the ones I haven't run since I was running through heroics at the beginning of WoD, so I really wasn't too sure what to expect. I remember hating the imps in here, knowing they do a ton of damage, and I was lucky enough to be mind controlled right off the bat on this first pull, so that was great, attacking my own teammates. Luckily though, nobody died, so kudos. Basically pulling this whole room into one giant thing and just trying to cleave them all down as best as possible. Somehow we missed that one over in the corner, and that's okay, we got it rooted, so it's not too big of a deal, I guess. Nobody died, so again, pretty happy about that. We did not pop heroism there. We wanted to save that for a later date. Shouldn't need it for that first pull anyways. Again, looking at what our comp is, all that good stuff. Decided to put pommel back on my bars since I was no longer instructed to have it off my bars. So I was pretty happy about that. Yeah, the amount of damage that the enhancement shaman is putting out is just absolutely nuts. I was watching the meters and just like, well, I mean, I didn't even need to show up for this. I could have just went AFK and it would have been okay. It was just a little bit crazy. Just a little bit crazy. So, keeping on through this one. Roughly about a 19-minute or so time window to complete this one on gold. That punk just like totally stunned me. Getting ready for the first boss fight here in a bit. So far, feeling confident-ish about this one, but mostly just unfamiliar. I really wasn't sure. I remember this boss fight kind of being a pain in the butt. I was told basically to stand in the lightning. Which was kind of weird to me because normally I was told to not stand in the lightning on the floor. But we're bursting him down so hard and so far, I really am not too worried about it all that much. I'm just taking a ton of damage though, both us and the boss. So it's kind of crazy just to see things going just that fast. And down goes that first boss. Heroism up, buffs up, everything like that. Wasn't really even anything. It was like a cakewalk right there. So that was comforting. It's always nice when you get that first kill on that boss in these and you're thinking, alright, we're off to a good start. So now getting our backtrack on, getting back in here and just kind of trying to get through this hallway. Really wasn't sure if we were going to pull all the mobs through or not, or kind of kill them individually, so we stopped here to kill these two individually. Not really sure why we didn't pull them all together. Potentially looking at not wanting to take too much damage, because I know some of the mobs in this hallway can get kind of crazy. That we're just giving the debuff a time to wear off. But still same comp, same team. Going through so far, this was the third run we did. I'm actually recording these all in order that we actually ran them. So this was the third one. It's feeling pretty good after getting through those first two on the first try and having such success with them. So that's kind of a nice little morale booster there. That multi-strike going off with those bleeds and the final burst plus the execute. Almost goofed it up and just charged in without even thinking about it. I was so hyped up and just pumped up and ready to go. I was like, oh crap, I probably should wait. I decided to chill while the tank was chilling. Probably not a good idea for me to charge in there since I'm not the one that's supposed to be taking all the damage. This is one pull where we're pulling everybody in here. We're just going for it. I don't really know what made this so different than the last one, but there it is. Popped rallying cry to help keep the tank alive. Again, maybe it's just the illusion of helping out, but I wanted to feel like I was doing my part. So just popping all the cooldowns, all the AoE damage, taking all the damage myself, died, getting that battle res. Didn't really realize it though because I'm an idiot. And then I'm like, oh wait, there's the battle res, because you know it'd be nice if I wasn't an idiot. Probably should pay attention better. My PvP skills and situational awareness were failing me there on that particular one. So trying to get back in the fight, do some damage, but it's not really working because I don't have any rage to spend. So pulled that whole hallway there after those first two mobs, kind of nice. Coming up on these imps really soon though, and that's got me a little nervous because I remember them pretty much one-shotting people if you don't interrupt all their crap. But so far, so good. Not... The start of this one a little bit slower than the other ones because before we were kind of rushing in, pulling stuff, dying. But Auchindoun is starting off a little bit slower than I would have expected, which is okay. I mean, we've only got a few bosses to go through and there's all this stuff, so we're kind of taking our time. I guess that's one thing that I'm learning from these is that you're obviously under pressure and you have a time constraint, but I feel like if you just try to rush this stuff, you're just going to make dumb mistakes. So if you set a good pace, but you keep moving on through, I think you'll prevent, and you should prevent, just silly mistakes that will result in you spending more time having to recover from that. So it's just, I feel like if I had been trying to run this group myself and putting this group together, I would have felt definitely a whole lot of pressure, but running with people that are experienced and kind of know their stuff was definitely something that put me at ease, more or less, as far as not having to go. So now we're pulling up on this first boss here. Something interesting happens here. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll wait till we get up there to the first boss, just because, you know, I don't want to ruin the excitement here, but something kind of silly goes down. I'm not known for my genius sometimes. We'll just put it that way. I do some silly things. So waiting for everybody to kind of get rebuffed, get mana and things like that. Healer was kind of low. There is one trinket that's over in the Auchindoun Valley that I always pick up on all of my characters when I'm going through, and I'd imagine it would be very helpful for challenge modes. It is over in the area with the spores, and I might make a video on it just showing you guys where it is, and it's a mushroom that drops, and it's on a 5-minute cooldown, but you're basically able to restore a good chunk of your mana and health over a short period of time right there, so that definitely helps keep your mana and your health on your feet. It is worth mentioning as well that our healer did switch over to Boomkin for this fight, looking for that extra DPS. It's kind of nice that we have that time to be able to swap over. Excuse me, there, Dinner was talking back, and here's one of my dumb mistakes. I've totally missed that right there. Totally missed the purple spot on the floor, and then I totally leaped over it because I'm special. We had a good laugh about that one in Skype. They were calling it the heroic leap of the century. Luckily, they were kind enough to battle res me and not kick me out of the group. So kudos to them for being bros there. But yeah, picking up that mushroom that's over in Auchindoun Valley is a huge help, I think. And as far as I've been able to tell, I've seen a lot of healers use it and people use it in challenge modes. And it is a nice little tool to have. I have it on all my caster classes that I have at this point in WoW. My paladin has it. My priest has it, my warlock has it, my shaman has it, my monk has it. The only one that doesn't have it is my warrior, because I don't ever feel a need to like pay attention to health and mana more or less, because I got band-aids for that. Trying to help my hunter out a little bit here with this one, because I really wasn't sure what was going on. Really wasn't a whole lot of direction, more or less. Hunter's fixated, so he's like kiting him away and got him all CC'd down. But everyone else is kind of up ahead dealing with some of the mobs up there. And then those friggin' imps, man, those imps terrify me. That's kind of my thing, is I really don't want to get close to those imps, so I decided to kind of stick back and deal with this guy for the time being, because I didn't want to mess with those dang imps. I've had too many horrible experiences with them going through heroics. I hate them. That friggin' thing right there that he's casting, I don't remember what it's called, basically a chaos bolt. Just Fel Blast, that one. Screw Fel Blast. Screw it. Just get executed. I absolutely hate those imps. Never mind, I'm not even going to go into it. I'm not even going to go on that round. I'm not even going to do it. We're pushing through the hallway. We're killing this Felguard, and we're making good time. Got 10 minutes left. At this point, I was actually getting a little nervous. I didn't really say anything because I was like, I trust these guys. They know what they're doing. But I was looking at the timer and seeing we only had 10 minutes left. And I was like, maybe we should be hurrying up a little bit. But I didn't say anything. Again, I was just kind of internalizing it all. So... But then I remember that most of this place is like trash, then it's just boss after boss after boss after boss. So I was like, oh, okay, well, we should be okay then. And I guess that's part of just trusting your team as well. Definitely when you're running challenge mode, you got to be able to trust everybody. And again, this is just based on my experience through it, so I could be completely talking out my bum here, and that's okay. But just from being able to trust the abilities and the skill level of your team definitely is something you want to be able to do. Unfortunately, our hunter went down there, so there went half of our DPS. But luckily, I had the Blade Storm. I don't really know what was contributing all that much there, but I beat the hunter on that DPS fight because, you know, he was dead, so it's all good. Getting that res up. Shaman went down as well, which was unfortunate, but again, they seem to be convinced we have enough time, so I'm not going to worry about it. This next boss actually was a lot more simple than I was initially anticipating. And I feel like that's my gauge. There were some of these bosses I was just like, oh, this will be easy. And other ones I was like, I don't know how well this is going to go. But I was glad that we had a solid team of good AoE damage because we go in here, just pull them all down, all these mobs before the boss drops in and just going for it. Don't have Bladestorm at the moment, which is unfortunate, so just trying to spam the butts off of Whirlwind. Just cleaving them down, helping it out, keeping that sweeping strikes up, and then just going for it. Abusing the fact that I keep landing some kills and getting that victory rush off, which is nice. I love using victory rush. It just makes me happy because I feel like that's one less thing my healer has to worry about doing to keep me alive when I get victory rushes. It's selfish, maybe, but that's just kind of my thoughts on it. So just kind of waiting to cleave these guys down until we get to the boss. Just group pulls are a big deal. Big group pulls, which again is nice with a DK tank. So now we got this boss in here. We're going over our strat, deciding what to do. They're trying to figure out what they should do with everything, and eventually we just gotta go for it, pulling it in, and then we're not even gonna really worry about the mobs that drop in. We're just going for the big kill here. We're just going on the boss, getting food buffed up. Some of that fell off. We've died. Haven't had a chance to drop that food. At this point, I'm getting really nervous. I'm looking at this clock. It says 8 minutes. I'm thinking, geez, we still have 2 bosses to go. We got a couple enemies to kill. But maybe my perception on time is definitely off. So, pull the boss, pop everything. Cooldowns are going, and we're just laying into him. We're just going to town on him. And again, like I said, we really aren't going to worry too much about the ads that are coming from this. We're just focusing the boss down. Just focusing the boss down. Doesn't even get a chance to summon ads. And which was quite nice. That was a nice little de-stressor there. So again, if you got that DPS, don't even need to worry about those ads. It was quite glorious, I'm not gonna lie. So moving on, and this is, I don't know what it was about this run, but I kept doing some silly, dumb stuff on this. We're gonna get through here, and we're gonna start this fight, and then at some point I accidentally clicked the brazier a little bit early and teleport to the next one before it's even ready. Before we're done with this fight, I should say, which was unfortunate. And I don't know what happens here, but the ice trap breaks off of the imp in a little bit here. We're going to see the imp come running over. For a bit there, I thought I actually busted it open, but I realized I was too far away for it to be a big deal, so that was kind of comforting. Trying to land a couple interrupts just to keep damage off of my healers and my friends there. Not wanting to let that imp cast that fell bolt, whatever the heck it is. Again, it just does nasty damage. A little bit too close there on the trap, more or less, and there's where I accidentally clicked that thing and then came porting over before it was time. But yeah, that's the downside of playing an Arms War. If a hunter traps anything too close to you, your AoE damage is just going to break that trap. So if you take note of what we did here, we trapped, or I should say rooted the demon mob there and pulled the ogre over here, which again helps a lot, not having to worry about killing 2 things. 46 out of 48 enemies killed, so we're definitely going to have enough enemies here at the end of the run, which is again nice, not having to worry about running or scrapping for that at the very end. Not really sure what was going on. Hunter's swapping over to that demon for a second here. We're all killing this guy more or less. I'm sitting on the tank's target. I probably should have swapped over to the demon once he broke out, but they've got him trapped, so I really didn't feel a need to swap over to him. Basically what I was told was kind of do whatever, and we'll take care of the rest on this run, so I was like, well, I guess that works out. So it was a little bit odd, kind of just not really having what I'm doing really mattering, but it was at the same time it was kind of nice to be able to zone out, especially because I kept making so many dumb mistakes. But I probably wouldn't have made those dumb mistakes if I didn't zone out. So this one really, for Auchindoun at least, pretty straightforward. Not really too many complicated. The hardest thing I think is just getting through those tunnels. Just getting through those tunnels and making sure you keep those imps under control so they don't one-shot everybody. Just can get a little tricky, I'd imagine, if you're not prepared for it. I can honestly say I couldn't imagine being a healer for these. This is not one thing I would want to heal. Challenge modes, forget it. Just does not sound like fun to me. But hey, if you're a healer and you love doing this stuff, kudos to you. That means I don't have to worry about it. So the last mob before we pull in to deal with the boss, good old Terran Gore. One of my favorite lore characters, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Just dropping them down, burst them down. They got these gnarly trinkets that they can pop whenever they want. It's kind of crazy, these little tokens with their spinners. I feel like I'm being mocked for Bladestorm. I had the Bladestorm there, just kind of join them in. Unfortunately, mine doesn't last as long as theirs. Our strategy going into fighting Terran Gore is very similar to Heroic, more or less. Not really going to worry about messing with the demon that he summons in. Just going to sit on the boss. Our DPS is good enough, not having to worry too much about swapping over. Got 4 minutes to spare. I feel like getting to challenge modes, like when you get towards the end of it, it's definitely do or die. Like if you're gonna wipe anywhere, make sure it is not at the final stretch, or else you are up the creek without a paddle, because you get there and you barely have any time left and you've got to make it count. So now that we got that ad pulled in, we're not really switching over to him. We're gonna root him over there, but that's about it. Again, so pretty much the same strategy as you'll find in a heroic or a 5-man. Just keep that ad CC'd, rooted, whatever it takes, and just stay on the boss. Pretty straightforward as long as you've got the health, mana, the buffs, and everything up for it. And it shouldn't be too hard. For some reason I pulled some aggro there, not really sure what happened. Try not to stand in crap, but I don't do a very good job of it. My situational awareness can be a little laggy sometimes. At that point right there, the ground is on fire, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm dying. Because again, I'm special. But that druid on the battle res is just gets it. And there I go doing something dumb again, walking through that fire. Just walking through that fire, you know, just not even worrying about it. Having a hard time gauging, not gonna lie, where I can stand, where I cannot. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I see the edge of it there, but I don't know if I can stand there. So, it is what it is. Not my brightest and best run, but you know what? I guess you can't be pro all the time. We made through, had a couple minutes to spare, got the gold, and that's what counts, I suppose. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. It's going to be an end for this video. Hope you'll stick around for more. Got a few more coming your way. And, yeah, so I'll catch you next time.